So here we have the field of battle. Chaos Ruin on the left, Church Ruin little village here. We've got one objective here, one objective here, and one objective here. That's a total of 3 objectives. The mission rolled is Crusade. Okay, so starting with the Blood Angels, let's see what we've got.
So HQ is Mephiston. He is with Sanguinary Priests. This guy is Corbulo, for the sake of modelling and stuff. Just 2 regular guys. This guy's a jump pack and this guy's just going to hang out. 5 scouts with sniper rifles, and the sergeant has melter bombs. 10-man assault squad. Sergeant has melter bombs, and there is a flamer in there as well. Same for this one, exactly the same, melter bombs, flamer. At the back we've got a Furioso Dreadnaught. He has the frag cannon and he has a heavy flamer as well. The Land Raider Crusader, pretty standard one. And 5 assault Terminators, all with thunder hammers and storm shields. And they are all hanging out in Storm Raven 1, which has the assault cannons, multi-melter and hurricane bolters, and then the anti-tank las cannon and multi-melters, and that's it. 2,000 points exactly.
Okay, so here we've got the Eldar army. Let's have a little bit of a closer look.
So leading the army we have the Avatar Arcane, and then for the troop section we have 4 Wave Serpents, 2 equipped with Dire Avengers, 5 in each, 2 with 10 Guardians, all with scatter lasers, shuriken cannons and hollow fields. Moving on, we have a squad of Shining Spears, 5 with the Exarch. He also has hit and run. Then into the heavy support, we have the Wraith Knight at the back, just standard loadout. We also have the Voldrath battery support with Doom Weavers. And for air support, we have the Crimson Hunter, and then followed up by 8 Warp Spiders as a fast attack choice. And to outflank, we have 5 Rangers.
And that makes 2,000, fantastic. Okay, so here we have the table after deployment. Gene, do you want to tell us what you've done here?
7th edition, so apparently these guys can team up now, so I've got a Sanguinary Priest with Mephiston inside the Land Raider. I've got a 10-man squad of Assault Marines with the Jump Pack Priest there. I've got a combat squad of 5 Assault Marines chilling in front, and I've got a squad of scouts that have infiltrated a little bit forward just to kind of hopefully kick them into action a bit. I've rolled Biomancy. Hopefully I was aiming to get Iron Arm, but I got Warp Speed, Endurance, Smite and Hemorrhage. Let's have some fun with them, innit?
Okay, so I got past first turn, so I had to deploy quite aggressively and spread my army across the table, hoping that Gene would deploy quite defensively in the far corner, which he has done. So I'm hopefully going to give him first turn and use my extra mobility to outflank him.
With the Rangers over in there on his side of the board, I can see they're looking fantastic. Right, so after the first turn movement phase, the Eldar are closing in on the Blood Angels. We've got the Avatar leading the charge in the middle. Looks like this Wave Serpent sneaking round here to give the scouts a little bit of love. So after the Eldars' first shooting phase, they successfully wiped out the scouts who were hiding there. Wraith Knight took a pot shot at the Land Raider and missed. Then we had some fire from the Ordnance over here. Managed to take out 3 of this squad here. And then finally the Rangers took a few pot shots, or should I say extremely accurate fire. Suppressed these guys, they failed their pinning check, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so Blood Angel's first movement phase. Looks like Mephi's used his Land Raider to rock up halfway across the board, and he's jumped out heading towards that Wraith Knight. These Blood Angel Assault Squad, the remaining two, are hiding behind this building here. Hopefully that'll keep them alive for a little bit longer. And that's pretty much it. Right, so after the first turn, Meph managed to get endurance off. Started bolting towards the Wraith Knight. Got a charge roll of 4 inches, a 3 and a 1. He needed to make 7. Decided to use Corbulo's re-roll to try and get into that combat. Again, rolled another 1 and is now sat, waiting to take some fire. On to turn 2. So, after the Eldar's second movement phase, the Warp Spiders have deep struck in here, past their difficult terrain, dangerous terrain, and looking at Mephi. The Wraith Knight jumped straight over the top of Mephi and landed between him and his Land Raider. These guys have hopped out of the Wave Serpent to the left. The Avatar's moving up, looking to get a 10-inch charge on Mephi. Let's see if he pulls that off. And then over here, we've got the Shining Spears. They've outflanked in on the right. The only other thing is this Wave Serpent slowly moving forward to put some more fire down on the Blood Angel stronghold. And that's so, at the end of the Eldar shooting, Mephiston has tanked a lot of wounds. I think he lost 2 in total. He took fire from the Warp Spiders, both Wave Serpents, these guys, and the Avatar, including 7 shots off the Serpent Shield, and basically just rocked the Feel No Pains from Endurance, and now he's still standing. So let's see if the Avatar gets a 10-inch charge in there. Finish the job. On this side of the board, the Rangers managed to shoot another of the Blood Angel Assault Squad, and the Bikers have turbo boosted across the board to get to here. Into the Eldar assault phase, the Avatar made a 10-inch charge into Mephiston, and now we'll just see what happens.
Hits for 4. Needs 4s to wound.
3 wounds.
3, 4 up.
Because of endurance. And that's two
down
wounds.
to 1 wound.
Now he fights.
So 4s.
Mephiston fighting back, it's 4s to hit on 5 attacks.
So,
Oh my! 1,
You got 1.
2, 3, 4 ones and a 6.
You're not even twin linked?
No.
You suck, man.
to be fair though, we should have.
At the end of the assault phase, the Avatar took Mephiston down to 1 wound, but he does have It Will Not Die. The Wraith Knight has stomped the Land Raider, exploded it, and the Priest is just sneaking behind that corner there. That's pretty much it. Mephiston's fearless because of his Warlord trait, so the combat continues. The Blood Angel's movement and psychic phase turn 2. The Blood Angels here have jumped out of cover. See if they can make it towards those Eldar bikers over there. These Blood Angels have hopped from here over the building to head towards those Guardians there. Warp Spider's just skulking in the corner there. Mephiston in the psychic phase pulled off both endurance and warp speed, so he's getting an extra 3 attacks, he's got an extra 3 initiative, and also he's got Feel No Pain on a 4+, which should keep him in the game. In terms of reserves, the Storm Raven came in. Now this bad boy's packing both the Dreadnaught and the Terminators, so that's the one he wanted to get in, and that should be able to do some damage, bring the pain to the Eldar after quite a lot of bad dice rolling on the Blood Angel side. Okay, so Blood Angel's shooting was what could be considered extremely successful. The Storm Raven managed to prang the Wave Serpent with 2 Blood Strike missiles. Failed to wound the Guardians inside, but still, that's good. Fired off the last cannon shot over here, but it was jinxed successfully. And then something we forgot to mention over here, these guys ran to spread out. They were so well hidden in the deep strike phase that even I didn't spot them to film them, so that was well placed. Right, on to Assault with the Blood Angels. And Mephi are both striking simultaneously. So we're going to roll out the Avatar's dice first. So how many attacks is that?
5 attacks.
Okay, 5 attacks.
In on 3s.
Oh, that's nice.
Wounded on 4s.
Oh.
4 on 5.
How many wounds has Mephi got? 1 wound left.
Come on.
Get an extra shake in there.
He's tired.
Gone.
He's gone with that 3 up, feel no pain, let him down. So 8 attacks back with Mephi.
4 power.
So forced to hit.
Forced to hit. And that's successful. And then what are we wounding on?
So what's his toughness? So it's 4s then.
4s to wound.
2 wounds.
Looks like a total of 2 there.
5 up in balls.
Failed both.
So Mep's dead.
So, end of the assault phase for Blood Angels turn 2. As we know, the Avatar was victorious. Crushed Mephiston. These 2 assault marines were wiped out in Overwatch by the Guardians. They never really stood a chance. And then over here, the assault marines successfully got off their charge against the Eldar bikers. They did a wound each. It was a drawn combat. And then the Eldar bikers have hit and run 8 inches round the back of the combat. And let's take it on to Eldar turn 3. Movement turn 3. The Guardians hopped in the back of their Wave Serpent and jetted up 12 inches to there. The other Wave Serpent has taken a defensive position in this corner. Then, very simply over here, having cleared out most of the Blood Angel opposition on this flank, the Avatars moved up to hopefully crush this priest on this side here. And then, having hit and run out at the end of last turn, these guys have moved an inch in. Hopefully those Shining Spears will manage to shoot up and then make the assault into the Blood Angels to finish the job on the left flank. Eldar turn 3 shooting phase. The Avatar failed in his attempt to kill the lonely Sanguinary Priest with his spear, forcing the assault. The laser lances from these guys failed also to do any wounds, or rather permanently kill any Blood Angels. They passed their feel no pains. Then the Rangers managed to throw in some supporting fire onto the Blood Angels, but they again passed all of their feel no pains. Then all of the rest of the Eldar, bar their artillery, fired off at the Storm Raven over here. Only managed 1 penetrating hit. That put it into vector lock, so now it's shaken and stunned. It has to carry on flying in that direction for 18 inches. And then finally, these Blood Angels who are sneaking over here have taken some serious damage from the artillery batteries of the Eldar. They've passed their pin and leadership though, so this man's absolutely loving it. Onto the assault phase. At the end of the Eldar assault, they managed to wipe out 5 of the Blood Angels, no wounds in return. However, the Blood Angels held firm on a 1 and a 2, they're not going anywhere, they love it. The Eldar opted not to hit and run, they want to stay in combat and finish the job. So onto the Blood Angels turn 3, let's see what he gets in reserve. So at the end of the Blood Angels movement phase, turn 3, the Storm Raven has flown off the board. It has deposited part of its payload in between the Vorl's Wrath on the right and the Wave Serpent on the left. Let's see what happens there. And then apart from that, we just have this lone assault marine who has moved 12 inches from behind the bit of cover over there and he's just sneaking up on these Thal's Wrath over here. That's all for the Blood Angels at the moment, so looking quite thin on the ground. Let's see what happens. So in the Blood Angels shooting phase, he managed to take out one of the Thal's Wrath and a crew member as well. This guy, the Assault Marine, ran round the corner here. He's got quite a good shot on those guys there. And then if we go over here, we can see that it was a drawn combat. The Blood Angels looking quite victorious to have survived there. These guys have hit and run 8 inches, probably going to strike in again next turn. Let's see what happens, Eldar turn 4.
So at the end of turn 3, the Eldar so far on the board. Most of my units are still alive. Really whittled down the Blood Angels to one single Marine here, one Dreadnaught here. And coming across the board, still have my Warp Spiders in the middle poised to shoot at any of the Storm Ravens that come on the board. The Dire Avengers are objective secured so far. He has 2 remaining Blood Angels here, 1 Priest and 1 Marine. The Shining Spears have hit out to here, which is going to re-engage them. The Avatar's holding another objective here at the moment. And at the back there, another Wave Serpent is ready to move on to the other objective, to claim all objectives for turn 4.
Okay, so Blood Angels are not really existing at the moment. I decided that it was probably safer to take my Storm Raven off, hoping that it comes back. Well, it will come back 4th turn. So I dropped off my Dreadnaught, did a bit of damage to his walls, and they did break, but they are okay now. And I've got 1 Marine left over this side. Drew combat, but these guys are simply just going to turn around and come back and assault me with their power weapons now and probably kill my Priest and my single Assault Marine. Chances of me winning this now are very slim. He's got the Avatar on that objective. He's got his Dire Avengers with the very speedy Warp Spiders on that objective pretty much, and he's going to pounce on that with that. The only thing that I can do is turn 4 automatic reserves come in, maybe blow up a couple of tanks, drop my Terminators off in the middle of the board, and then kind of pick my target and hopefully at least grab an objective and maybe squeeze a draw. I don't know, it's pretty much over in my opinion, but we'll keep going, we'll see how we get on.
So, Eldar movement turn 4, the Crimson Hunter has come in from the left flank, ready to pop that Furioso in the back. We have the Avatar locking down this objective here. I don't think anyone's going to be coming near him anytime soon. And then these guys are coming down for round 3. They're looking to finish off those Blood Angels, get the job done. Let's see what happens in shooting. So, at the end of Eldar turn 4, we have a decidedly blue board. Everyone fired at the Assault Marine who was there, and it went down to a Shuriken rifle from the Thal's Wrath, snap firing, who managed to take him out after basically 2 Wave Serpents failed to do the job. We have the Crimson Hunter who shot and killed the Dreadnaught. He did what he was meant to do. And then over here we have the Shining Spears who have finally done what they've been trying to do all game. They've finished off those guys, the Assault Marine and the Sanguinary Priest in assault. So the Blood Angels have been tabled, however as they went second they do get to bring their reserves in, and look forward to being tabled twice in one game. Let's see what happens. So the Blood Angels have come on with their Storm Ravens. They're going to reap some bloody revenge on the Eldar for their fallen comrades. Let's see what they can do in the shooting phase. At the end of Blood Angels turn 4, the Storm Raven on the left managed to come in. It split fire and shot at the Wave Serpents on that objective. It jinked but managed to avoid being damaged. The other Wave Serpent was exploded, and also 3 of the men inside perished. This Storm Raven came on and drilled a lot of firepower into the Warp Spiders, making them break off. It also split fire with a Blood Strike into this Wave Serpent, but it passed its jink and survived. So, at the end of the Eldar movement phase, turn 5, the Crimson Hunter has used Vector Dance to nip round here to get a shot in on the Storm Raven. The Guardians have jumped out of their transport to try and make it harder for anything to come near that objective or their transport. The Wraith Knight has moved forward 12 inches, and then over here these guys have just sort of moved around, wiggled a little bit, make sure that objective remained their objective. Finally, these Warp Spiders had no problem regrouping and have moved up 3 inches forward, so let's see what damage they can do in the shooting phase. At the end of Eldar shooting turn 5, it looks like the Emperor truly has forsaken his chosen sons. Sanguinius is nowhere to be seen.
I hate you, man.
Everything's really fallen apart. Everything fired at the Storm Raven that was around here.
It was threatening these.
And was threatening all of this. However, having fired everything at the Storm Raven and only succeeded in getting a glance against it, he then decided to have a cheeky snapshot with this Bright Lance here. He got the 6, he blew up the Storm Raven. Corbulo died in the burning wreckage as it plummeted to Earth, along with 3 Terminators. Then the snipers put some fire down, got a couple of AP2 hits, a couple of rending hits, and left 1 lonely Terminator standing proud on his own. Let's see what the Blood Angels can do to counter that. The Blood Angels turn 5. The remaining Storm Raven put everything it had into this Guardian squad here, put 13 wounds on them. They failed past 10 of those wounds, failed a mere 3 after going to ground. The Terminator went for glory, went for gold against this Wave Serpent, managed to get a penetration but merely shook the crew, leaving it with 2 hull points. A bit of a dry turn for the Blood Angels, and the game has gone on into the 6th turn. Looks like the Eldar may get their table after all. Let's see what happens. Movement turn 6. This Wave Serpent tried to move off, failed its difficult terrain and is now on 1 hull point. This Wave Serpent then moved up from the Guardians it was with to support against the Terminator. The Wraith Knight moved up flanking, maybe to try and get a shot in on the Terminator, we'll see. And the Crimson Hunter, see if it can claim itself a prize and shoot down the 2nd Storm Raven. Let's see what happens. So, that is it. Eldar turn 6, it ends with the shooting phase. Let's have a quick look at what happened. The Crimson Hunter scored itself a kill, shot down that Storm Raven, no problems. The Wraith Knight fired off everything it had at the Terminator but failed to do anything. Then the Wave Serpent that moved up in support managed to finish the job. We saw the 1, the Terminator died. Let's have a look at the game as it ends. We have an objective here, secured by the Transport and Eldar Guardians over here. Looking for the Avatar on the right flank stands victorious, his fist held aloft. The objective secured by him. Over here we have the Shining Spears with Linebreaker. The Dire Avengers are holding on to this objective. The Rangers would also have Linebreaker. Over here on the far flank we have the Wave Serpent with the Guardians. They've got that objective locked down, no questions asked. So Gene, you've let the Emperor down, you've let yourself down, you've let me down as a fellow Blood Angel player. How are you feeling?
I feel like I've let myself down. It's just one of them, isn't it? Like, no words can describe how bad that was.
And anything you would have done differently?
To be honest, it was kind of, if I'd got off the right powers and got into combat with Mephiston turn 1, I think if I'd killed that Wraith Knight, he wouldn't have been able to be quite as aggressive.
Dominated that flank.
Yeah, and it might have kind of made him think, well, maybe I should keep my Wave Serpents a little bit further out of range, which means that he wouldn't have line of sight on all my stuff, and which means he wouldn't kill everything.
And finally, who was your man of the match?
I think my Storm Raven that flew off and came back on, he gave me that final glimmer of hope. He killed a couple of, he killed a Wave Serpent and a load of guys, and I was like, yes, maybe this is the last chance for me to actually get something out of this game. And then a Bright Lance snapshot and last ditch effort brings it down and kills everyone inside.
Absolutely denied. What can you say? Oh well.
Next time.
Yeah, better luck next time, dude. So JP gave the Blood Angels a good schooling with the old Eldar. How are you feeling?
Pretty pleased with the army. Actually, it's the first time I've run Eldar with a single psycho in the game.
And would you have done anything differently?
Would have slightly moved the race further back. I didn't know the exact distance Mephiston could get the first charge after turn 1, but luckily he didn't make it.
Came out alright in the end.
It came out alright in the end.
And man of the match?
Has to be the Guardian Bright Lance on turn 5. Snap fire and hit the Storm Raven.
How many points do you reckon you claimed?
200 for the Storm Raven, 3 Terminators, Corbulo, about 500 points.
A good chunk, yeah, good chunk. Well done.
Thank you.